Yeah, I'm just out and about
Yeah.
and just trying to.
You live local as well?
I live in Alexandria, but I come out this way a bunch of times. I used to live out here, and my job was in Alexandria.
So you switched over to move that
Well,
way.
yeah, I got to be closer to work. The whole hour commute thing.
I have the opposite situation right now. I live in Falls Church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
And you work here,
Yep.
but at least you're going against the grain of traffic.
You got it. Yeah, absolutely. And I finally convinced the wife this past year, saying, honey, we need to start looking at houses.
Yeah.
And she was like, fine. So.
But I mean, if money were no object, I'd be eyeballing those Tremors over there.
Yeah, that's a nice one too.
Are they both the same, or does one have a little bit more than the other?
Say that one more time.
Are these both identical? Well, besides
no, so
color,
this
of
one
course.
looks black. That one is the antimatter blue.
Okay.
So yeah, the antimatter blue. It's if you look in the light, you'll notice the blue.
Yep. I can notice it right now.
Yep. And at nighttime, it looks black. It looks
Well,
just like
yeah,
regular
because it's
black.
a dark vehicle.
Yep.
I must confess, I used to think, which I think would actually be really friggin' cool if they made this be an additional light.
I'll be a light.
That's what I thought it was.
You know what? I'll bet you there's some aftermarket ones that can do that.
There probably is, yeah.
Yeah, because
I mean, it probably looks like it might be a reflector of sorts, like at night, slightly.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
But yeah, I mean, if money were no object, because this is probably like, this trim is probably like the perfect work truck.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, wrapped over there, who the heck buys that just to do work?
Most people, it's usually the boss that buys it and drives around to the sites
Yup,
and says, hey, you got to get to work.
yup. And how many of those actually see off-road?
Most of them are not going to be off-road. Most of them are just going to be driving around.
Just to
making
make
sure
a
everybody
statement,
works.
keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
Exactly. And obviously, what's the going price for this specimen here?
So this one, for example, let's see, I think both of these are identical.
Besides the color. Okay, $70K for this guy. Yep, same for this guy. So they're,
of course, that's before the discounts.
what's up?
That's before the discounts. So we have
Okay, yeah, that's
discounts
fair.
Yeah.
But what I really would think, and I'm not sure if any dealer can even really do this, like,
What's that?
obviously is this stuff that you guys popped on when you get it?
This is all, everything here is from the factory.
Okay.
All this stuff is from the factory.
Oh, okay, so they're making they ship. So there's no like dealer add-ons that you guys just slapped on?
No,
Not in this specimen?
It's just all manufactured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all from Ford the factory. So this is the configuration for this truck.
For that
Yeah.
one. Do you ever get any without all this stuff and just this?
Let's see here. No, it's gonna have that.
Well, yeah, the no
And
charge
let's see
stuff.
here. It may or may not have the mobile
full-
office.
Yeah.
Blue Cruise. It may or may not. It's hard to
Yeah.
say. Bed utility package. So it's usually so all that's pretty much standard.
Yeah.
It's just the bottom few items down here that is optional.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times it's just what builds out. If you could actually do a build without those features.
Oh, okay.
One-
But that would
yeah.
obviously take a little bit of time.
Correct. I think the build.
Now, I gotta ask you, like, when I got my Santa Cruz, my initial choice, not trying to brown nose, my initial choice actually was the Maverick.
Okay.
With that said, I came here and checked out a couple other places. Every other company, they were slapping them up, like extra markup fees and all that. Like, where was the justification in that? Hyundai was the only one that didn't do that.
Yeah. So I don't know where you were when you was looking at depending on when
It was 2023.
2023.
I had a 05 Colorado prior.
Mm-hmm.
I had her for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
But rock salt likes to eat metal. So
Yeah.
it just got to that point where
Right.
it was just costing me as much to fix that as it would be making the payments on the cruise.
Right. I know right now there's no markups on any of our vehicles.
Right.
The only one is the Raptor R.
And which one? Is that specimen over there?
No, not even that one. That one's got a discount.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
our showroom. It's got the supercharged V8 in it.
Oh, okay. Is that the one that
The
they just
Rebel-
had to they had to make an off-road truck do faster than
The Ram Rebel, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably faster than anything.
Yeah.
You know, last time I saw a fast truck was the '91 GMC Cyclones.
Yeah, I think it said,
Yeah, it was like 3.6 for those for the Raptor R.
yeah, 8.6 from
Yeah.
0 to 60. Yeah,
But,
it's
you know,
crazy.
last-
It's absolutely-
Well, last time I saw a truck do anything close to 4 was the GMC Cyclone. Remember those little guys? It was a
Vague.
'91 GMC Cyclone. It was
it was kind of like the.
it was the
Ford
S10.
F-150
No,
Lightnings.
not even. It was like the GMC's version of the old S10.
Okay.
It
All
only
right.
came out for 1 year.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, and it was obviously, you know, supercharged V, all that stuff, and it was made. It was a lowrider, so you weren't going to do any work with it, but it was
Right,
just
right.
made for one purpose:
Street, that's it.
to
Right,
be
that's it.
at the time quicker than everything else on the market, and that
Oh,
included
wow.
supercars.
Right.
You know, and it would be another 20 years before anything would catch up to it. But you know, now of course everything's electric and all that stuff, so that
Yeah.
negates it. But you know, I've seen a few of those, and those go for huge money. You know, because they're collector's items.
Right, right.
You know, that's why they're going for like 70K, but they also only have like 10, 15K on them because they weren't daily drivers. I was going to look at that Ranger, but it looks like that's a customer's, the 2023.
Yeah, so we have some Rangers. That's a 2025 Ranger, the blue one.
Right in front of me?
Yeah, that blue one right there is 2025. Oh, no, actually, no, that one's not. That is a 2025, but it's a customer
It's
one.
yeah, I don't want to creep on the customer's car here.
That's the
That would be
Rangers
weird.
down here. These are Rangers down here.
Oh yeah, I see them.
Yep, these are Rangers down here.
Yeah, I see them. Yep. All right, so yeah, here I am. Gonna try to do this video without, because the salesman immediately approached me. 41 for that. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, so Rangers are actually a great size truck if you don't need the full size.
Yeah.
And they made it bigger on the inside too.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, I mean, I'm like you. I'm not a big guy.
Right.
You know, so this was the issue I run into with a lot of the mid-sizes now. Although this I can kind of reach in. I can definitely reach in that. I got better range of motion with this shoulder, so this is probably not an issue. You know, if I do a little, there's probably no step sides on these things, but yeah, I was at a Toyota, and their newer Tacomas are like 90% the size of the Tundras. Again.
Oh wow, they made it bigger.
Again. You know, because when they beefed up those in 2005, they were almost as big as the old school Tundras, and they had to beef up those. But
Yeah, each year they make the trucks a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger.
and a little bit taller,
Yep.
impractical for work.
Yep. So the Rangers is kind of like the old F-150s,
Yeah.
you know. And of course the F-150s
Well,
are
same-
bigger now. They're like the old 250s.
Yep. Same thing with the Colorados.
Yep. Made
You know,
those bigger and bigger.
And those
every year.
even have a higher bed height. And, you know, again, you know, when I want a truck, I want to be able to do some work with it. You know, not have to climb into it to get stuff out of the bed.
Right.
You know, so, no, it's not a Maverick Tremor, but that is a Maverick.
Yep.
You know, is this specimen an all-wheel?
This one?
Yeah.
This one, let's take a look.
I know, a good size comparison, right?
Yeah, so I think this is actually a hybrid all-wheel drive.
Oh, okay.
It's a hybrid.
What's the towing capacity of the hybrids?
So you could get, if you don't have the 4K tow package or 2K,
Mhm.
it's either 2,000 or 4,000, depending on which package you have.
Even with a hybrid?
Yeah.
How much is this specimen actually?
This one, I think this is probably like the high 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, they took the stickers off. I don't know why.
I don't know, because they want to dupe people. I've been seeing this a lot at different places. Like, why don't they put the stickers on? You know, and what about the Maverick Tremor? I heard that you can't really do much work with those.
It's the maximum on any of the Mavericks is going to be 4,000 pounds.
Right.
Even with the Tremor package.
I think the Tremor package is even less, just because of how they built it. Oh, okay.
This is only low 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what does it come with?
So this one's got the. Did you want to look at the inside?
Yeah, I'll take a quick peek.
Yeah, you got the keys. I'm Bryce, by the way.
I'm Billy.
Billy?
Yep.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Billy. You haven't been working with anyone or anything like that, right, Billy?
What's up?
You haven't been working with